Hey, thanks for stopping by. It's been a while since I've talked about tarot specifically and tarot cards. I mean, I'm pulling cards every Monday, but in terms of talking about this tool, it has been a while. And pretty soon I probably should post more about who I am and how this all came to be, because I've been doing this since the 70s, and there's a lot to discuss when it comes to tarot cards. But today I just wanted to introduce you to my bias about picking a deck. I was actually in a metaphysical store yesterday and I saw a young woman come in. There were all these decks lined up on the shelves. She was a newbie to tarot. I found that out from talking to her. And she went right for the Rider-Waite deck. And that's the traditional deck that I still use, I still love. And it really has I believe, has an important role when it comes to learning tarot. That's my bias. There are so many decks out today. And to read many of them or all of them, you really need to understand the keys, right? What are the four suits? Because they're not, a lot of them don't fall under the traditional pentacles, swords, wands, and hearts. So you have to understand what the specific artist or author of a tarot card, of a tarot deck, wants you to know. But if you study the Rider-Waite, then absolutely, I believe you can read any deck. It's a pretty basic understanding in terms of, I don't mean basic in terms of easy, but it is a foundational understanding of what tarot is about. So if you're interested in learning tarot, I'm definitely prejudiced about starting with that Rider-Waite deck. I think from there, you've got a good jumping off point. And I realized I don't even have that deck in front of me to show you. So I will do that at some point for those of you, and do that soon, maybe even after this video. So those of you who aren't familiar with what that deck is, I will show it to you. In the meantime, what I wanted to do today is point in the direction of decks, because there, like I said, there are so many. I specifically only read with the Rider-Waite deck. It's the deck I started with. It's the deck I most resonate with, and I still love that deck. There is so much information in every card. And I must own about 60 decks anyway, even if I don't use them for reading, because I absolutely love the artwork. It's fabulous what's out there. And I admire, by the way, people who can read from more than one deck. I see that all the time with tarot readers, and my hat's off to you. I admire it so much. Today, I really just wanted to start showing you a few samples of what I have collected over the years. This one is called the Illustrator's Tarot. It's probably backwards, right, when you see it. This is not a deck for reading. This is, well, you could read with it, I suppose, but it really is an example of what I'm saying about the artwork that is offered in tarot decks. And so these are just the majors, the major cards. There are 21 major cards, 22 when you count the Fool. And each card was done by a different artist. This deck is so precious to me because the artwork's amazing. So I'm going to just show you. And, definitely the lovers, right? The Magician. You can absolutely comment. Feel free to comment on these. The Emperor. The Sun. Feel free to comment about these wonderful, wonderful pieces of artwork. And in the description, if I can find the artist's name, I would love to attribute who these artists are, and I will do that in the comments. Strength is the next one. We've got the Star, the Moon, Death. These are so fabulous. Chariot. Could I read from these? I couldn't. Maybe somebody else could, just using the majors. This deck did not come with the minors. Here's the Fool. So you can't read it like a full, tarot reading because there are no minor cards, but you certainly, if you wanted to just use them, I suppose, just picking majors, or use it like an oracle deck, right? Shuffle them, pick a card randomly, and if you don't know what the Empress means, read about it like you would in an oracle deck. This is Temperance, and this one is the Hermit. I love this one. And Justice. You'll notice I didn't have them in any particular order. That's it for today. I want to thank you again for stopping by. Leave your comments. Maybe you're somebody who also collects decks for the artwork, and maybe you're somebody who actually reads tarot, and like me, you still are collecting decks because they're so fabulous. There's plenty out there to talk about tarot, and I think I'm gearing up to spend a little bit more time talking about this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tool.